Metroid is a masterpiece. Every video gamer should know that. The development team for Metroid were the new stars of the video gaming world after the release of their game in 1986. But what happened after the success of their cash cow Metroid? Well, the very same developers stayed after hours in their office to complete what would turn out to be a huge series. Well, not really huge, but lengthy series of instant classic titles. Or most of them, really. This game that they were developing hour after hour was Kid Icarus, and it was finally released in 1987 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Kid Icarus is a vertical scrolling platformer that features a wide range of enemies as well as quote-unquote secret doorways or passages. For a Nintendo Entertainment System game, Kid Icarus seemed to be a really big game to us. We had known that to continue through the game you would need to defeat enemies as they literally come down from the sky after you. We had all seen commercials, we had witnessed the game being played at our local video game store years after its initial release. And from that time on, in the early 2000s, it appeared to us that in order to get with a generation of video gamers over a decade our senior, we needed to finally purchase a Nintendo Entertainment System that we heard so much about. That may seem odd that we finally bought a Nintendo Entertainment System after nearly a decade of it being released, but it didn't really seem that odd to us. I can't speak for our fellow Digiware software employee Philip, but Ian and I bought the new NES, well, it was new to us, from a flea market, and we got 5 games. Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2, an unlicensed copy of Blackjack, Duck Hunt, and Kid Icarus, all for $30. Anyway, enough of a personal backstory. This is a review of Kid Icarus, and I got off track. We just have so many fond memories of this game. My god, is this a great goddamn game. Anyway, like I said before, in order to progress through the game, you need to scroll vertically towards the end goal, which is actually just another full level of hard-ass vertical platforming. Basically, the plot revolves around Pit, the main hero of Kid Icarus, searching for 3 treasures, which should then be equipped to save the fantasy world of Angel Land, and its ruler, the goddess of Palutena. Never been able to say that correctly. An excellent way to have found out that in 1987 would have been to read the manual. But now we in 2013 have a thing called the internet, and it is a much better resource. Actually, that's a load of crap. The manual has always been the #1 resources for any type of video gaming. A lot of enemies in Kid Icarus appear to be from the Greek tradition of bad guys. Or they could just be nicely designed enemies that coincidentally appear to be of Grecian origin. Either way, to imagine the thought process that went into making this game is out of this world. Not only did they achieve a game that literally has Pit venturing towards the sun, but they also achieved a storyline that has kept gamers in its hand for nearly 25 years. Well, now it's over 25 years. Oddly enough, though, Kid Icarus has 2 different endings. One of the endings has Palutena presenting Pit with some sort of headgear, and the other one is when he is transformed into a full-grown angel, which is, in the end of it, what he wanted all along. The legacy of Kid Icarus can be described in one word: underrated. I know there are many games in the Nintendo Entertainment System library that could be described as underrated, but goddamn, Kid Icarus is criminally underrated in terms of the recent few years. I know Pit has been involved in several other video game series, but the original Kid Icarus has never really been given the appreciation it justly deserves. Well, actually, its release on the Virtual Console and for the 3DS have only boosted its popularity. This was Kid Icarus from the Nintendo Entertainment System. And I'll say it again. God damn, this is a fantastic piece of video gaming history.